Barack Obama's life story is one of the most remarkable journeys of the modern era, not because it followed a straight or easy path, but because it was shaped by movement, uncertainty, discipline, and an enduring search for purpose. Long before he became a global political figure, Obama was a child navigating different cultures, identities, and environments, experiences that would quietly shape the way he saw the world and his place within it. Barack Hussein Obama was born on August 4, 1961, in Honolulu, Hawaii. His birth itself represented a blend of worlds. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was a young economist from Kenya who had come to the United States on a scholarship. His mother, Ann Dunham, was a white American woman from Kansas with a deep curiosity about culture, learning, and social development. Their union was unusual for the time, particularly in an America still deeply divided by race. Though their marriage would not last, the circumstances of Obama's birth placed him at the intersection of different histories, continents, and identities from the very beginning. Obama's early years were marked by absence as much as presence. His father left the family when Barack was still very young, eventually returning to Kenya. This absence would become a quiet but persistent element of Obama's inner life. He would grow up with limited direct contact with his father, learning about him mostly through stories, letters, and later his own reflections. This created both a sense of curiosity and a feeling of incompleteness, pushing Obama to think deeply about identity, belonging, and responsibility from an early age. When Obama was around 6 years old, his mother remarried and the family moved to Indonesia. This transition placed him in an environment vastly different from Hawaii or the American mainland. Indonesia in the late 1960s was a developing nation, still finding its footing after political upheaval. Obama attended local schools where he learned to adapt quickly, observing life beyond the comforts and assumptions of the United States. He saw poverty up close, witnessed different religious practices, and learned to navigate a multicultural setting where survival and community often mattered more than ideology. Living in Indonesia exposed Obama to a world where daily life demanded resilience. Electricity was unreliable, healthcare was limited, and political stability was fragile. These experiences grounded him in reality early on, teaching him that the world was far larger and more complex than any single nation or narrative. Though he was still a child, these years quietly shaped his understanding of global inequality and human adaptability. Eventually, Obama returned to Hawaii to live with his maternal grandparents. This move marked another significant shift in his life. His grandparents provided stability, structure, and support, emphasizing education and personal responsibility. Hawaii itself, with its diverse population and cultural openness, offered Obama a space where he felt less confined by rigid racial categories. It was a place where different backgrounds coexisted, allowing him to explore his identity without being forced into a single definition. As a teenager, Obama began to wrestle more consciously with questions of race, belonging, and purpose. He was intelligent and observant, but also introspective, often feeling caught between worlds. These internal struggles were not always visible to those around him, yet they played a critical role in shaping his character. Rather than turning away from these questions, Obama leaned into them, using reading, writing, and self-reflection as tools for understanding himself and the society around him. By the time Obama finished high school, he had already lived a life that spanned continents, cultures, and perspectives. He was not yet a politician, a lawyer, or a public speaker, but the foundations of his worldview were firmly in place. His early life had taught him that identity is complex, that leadership requires empathy, and that understanding others begins with listening. These lessons, learned long before the spotlight found him, would become central to the man he would eventually become. By the time Barack Obama began to seriously consider a future in politics, his understanding of leadership had already been shaped by years of lived experience rather than abstract ambition. He had seen inequality firsthand, worked within struggling communities, and studied the legal systems that governed society. Politics, to him, was not a pursuit of power, but a potential extension of service, a way to address problems at a scale larger than any single neighborhood or organization.
Obama's entry into politics began at the state level, where the stakes were high enough to matter but close enough to everyday life to remain grounded. In 1996, he was elected to the Illinois State Senate, representing a district on Chicago's South Side. The role placed him directly inside the legislative process, where ideals met compromise and progress often came in increments rather than breakthroughs. For Obama, this environment was both challenging and instructive. As a state senator, he developed a reputation for being calm, analytical, and willing to engage across ideological lines. He was not the loudest voice in the room, but he was often one of the most prepared. He believed that listening carefully and understanding opposing viewpoints was essential to crafting effective solutions. This approach sometimes frustrated those who preferred confrontation, but it earned him respect among colleagues who valued substance over spectacle. During his time in the Illinois Senate, Obama worked on issues like ethics reform, healthcare access, and criminal justice. These efforts reflected his belief that government could be a force for fairness if guided by principled leadership. While not all of his initiatives succeeded, the experience taught him how difficult meaningful change could be within established systems. It also reinforced his belief that persistence and patience were critical to public service. Obama's political career took a dramatic turn in 2004, a year that would redefine his trajectory. He decided to run for the United States Senate, a bold move that placed him on a national stage. His campaign emphasized unity, responsibility, and shared opportunity, themes that
resonated with voters across different backgrounds. That same year, he was chosen to deliver the keynote address at the Democratic National Convention. The speech marked a pivotal moment in Obama's life. Standing before a national audience, he spoke about hope, common purpose, and the idea that America's strength lay in its diversity and shared values. The address was measured yet powerful, avoiding division in favor of connection. Almost overnight, Obama transformed from a relatively unknown state politician into a national figure. Following the convention, Obama won the Senate election and took office in Washington, D.C. As a U.S. Senator, he faced the challenge of navigating a highly polarized political environment. While still a freshman senator, he approached the role with humility, focusing on learning rather than dominating. He served on committees related to foreign relations, public health, and veterans affairs, areas that aligned with his interests in global cooperation and social responsibility. During this period, Obama also gained attention for his opposition to the Iraq War, a stance that distinguished him from many contemporaries. His position was rooted not in political calculation, but in a broader skepticism toward unilateral military action. This perspective further shaped his public image as a leader who valued diplomacy and long-term thinking. As his national profile grew, so did speculation about his future. Conversations about a presidential run began to emerge, though Obama himself appeared cautious. He was acutely aware of the weight such a decision carried, not just politically, but personally. The presidency would demand extraordinary sacrifice, scrutiny, and resilience, affecting not only him, but his family as well. In 2007, after months of reflection, Obama announced his candidacy for President of the United States. The decision was historic, ambitious, and uncertain. He entered a crowded field of experienced political figures, many of whom doubted his readiness or electability. Yet Obama's campaign quickly gained momentum, driven by grassroots support and a message centered on hope and change. The campaign was grueling. Obama traveled extensively, delivering speeches, participating in debates, and engaging with voters across the country. He faced criticism, skepticism, and intense media scrutiny. His background, race, and relative youth were all examined and questioned. Throughout the process, he maintained a composed demeanor, emphasizing discipline and focus over reaction. Central to his campaign was the idea that politics could be elevated beyond cynicism. He spoke about restoring trust in government, expanding opportunity, and encouraging civic participation.
His message resonated with young voters, minorities, and those disillusioned with traditional politics. It also challenged entrenched assumptions about who could lead the nation. As the election approached, the significance of Barack Obama's candidacy became impossible to ignore. It was not simply about policy positions or party affiliation, but about representation and possibility. His journey from community organizer to presidential contender symbolized a broader shift in American society, one driven by changing demographics and evolving values. The election of 2008 culminated in a historic victory. Barack Obama was elected President of the United States, becoming the nation's first African-American president. The moment carried immense symbolic weight, reflecting both personal achievement and collective progress. For Obama, it marked the beginning of an entirely new chapter, one defined by responsibility on a global scale. The transition from candidate to president was swift and demanding. Almost immediately, Obama was faced with economic crisis, international conflicts, and the expectations of millions who saw him as a symbol of renewal. The journey that had begun decades earlier, shaped by movement, uncertainty, and purpose, had brought him to the highest office in the land. As Barack Obama moved into young adulthood, the questions that had quietly followed him since childhood began to take clearer shape. He was no longer just observing the world around him. He was actively trying to understand where he fit within it. Leaving Hawaii for the mainland United States marked another turning point, one that would expose him more directly to the racial, social, and political realities of American life. Obama enrolled at Occidental College in Los Angeles. The move itself was significant. For the first time, he was living in a large American city where race, class, and politics were openly debated and often sharply divided. At Occidental, Obama was known as thoughtful and intelligent, but not yet the confident public figure the world would later see. He listened more than he spoke, absorbing ideas from classmates and professors, and gradually began to engage in conversations about justice, inequality, and power. During this period, Obama became more aware of the civil rights struggles that had shaped recent American history. He read widely, exploring literature, philosophy, and political theory. These readings helped him connect his personal questions about identity with broader social issues. He began to see that his own story was not isolated, but part of a much larger narrative about race, opportunity, and responsibility in America. After 2 years, Obama transferred to Columbia University in New York City. The transition from Los Angeles to New York brought a different kind of education. New York in the early 1980s was intense, competitive, and fast-moving. Life there demanded independence. Obama lived modestly, often feeling anonymous among millions of people chasing their own ambitions. While some students thrived socially, Obama remained inward-looking, focused on his studies and personal growth. At Columbia, he studied political science with a specialization in international relations. His academic focus reflected his global upbringing and curiosity about how nations, governments, and systems of power interact. Though he performed well academically, Obama later described this period as one marked by uncertainty. He was searching not only for a career, but for meaning. He sensed that success defined purely by money or status would not be enough for him.